What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. Amazing stuff. We're live on YouTube and on Instagram. As per usual, do me a favor, hit that like button. Smack it right now. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. I appreciate it. And as you guys know, it is a talk show, so you can call in. 888-775-3773. The lines are open. You can call in. 888-775-3773. And we can talk about whatever you want. We can get into it. Ask me anything, whatever. We can talk about it. I'm here for it. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description, or just go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button, send your question or comments there. I will read them live on air as they come in, if the Lord is willing. So you do got that option. Amazing stuff. Shout out to the YouTube live chat, the Snake Pit, and the Mod Squad holding it down. Shout out. Shout out to the IG chat, the Lion's Den, holding it down. Right on. King Wesley said he shared to 5 people today. Right on, King Wesley. I appreciate it. If I could make King Wesley a mod in the IG chat, I would do so. Holding it down. Right on, man. Appreciate it. The Snake Pit. Shout out. Let's see here. Let's get into it, you know? Got some callers on the line. Callers, give me a second. I will get to you guys shortly. I shall get to you guys shortly. So what are we talking about today, y'all? What are we talking about today? Today we're talking about letting God draw you in. Letting God draw you in. I got some stuff I want to say about it. Some stuff I realized. And very interesting stuff. So, as we all know, and if we don't know, just a reminder, or if we forgot, just a reminder, but if we don't know, just a heads up, is that we can't change ourselves, right? We can't change ourselves. We cannot do it. Of ourselves, we cannot do it. We cannot change ourselves. And I think I learned that more and more over time. Because if you guys knew the way I grew up, as far as my mentality goes, you would know that I didn't always believe that. Right? You can't change yourself. And changing self is like a form of control, right? Wanting to control things. And most people, including myself, want to control things, control life. It gives us a sense of security, makes us feel, makes me feel like, I don't know, like I got something, I don't know, like a grip on life, like a false confidence. But we can't change ourselves. And there's actually confidence, real confidence, in knowing that you can't. And what I mean by you can't change yourself is you can't stop yourself from doing anything. And this is just my opinion. And like I always say, guys, really, and I mean it when I say this, don't believe nothing that I say. Think for yourself and know for yourself, because I can always be wrong. So don't believe me, but this is just what I believe. You can't stop anything, right? Anything that drinking, smoking, shortcuts, A, B, C, and D. You can't stop doing anything. As much as willpower we want to have about it, as much as like determination we have to do it, we can't stop anything. What we do is we can separate ourselves from it, right? But that's only going to last so long, and then you're going to eventually find yourself back, or at least struggling with it, or running from it, or whatever. But you can't stop anything. Reason why is because God has to draw you in, right? He has to bring understanding to you. He has to shine the light on the issue so you can, and that's on your behalf. He draws you in, right? He gives you that understanding, and that understanding is what allows things to fall away. But he doesn't do this all at once, right? And if you guys really hear me out, well, I guess it's not dependent upon if you hear me out, because if what I say is true, it has to be revealed as well. So I guess I can't say that, but I have some examples, or I have some things I want to say about it that make it clear on how we need to just let go and let God intervene into our lives. And not in like the Christian hippie way, but in the way that we ain't got no choice, and surrendering to that, right? Because it's a peaceful place to be, and you can like let your shoulders hang. You know what I mean? Because so much effort is put into, trying to control life and make things happen, or stop things from happening, or fight against things, and all these things that actually bring stress, more conflict, depression, anxiety, all those things. Even as we're waking up, even as we're growing, we still are faced with thoughts and all kinds of stuff, right? But if we understand these simple things, maybe it can be helpful for you like it's helpful for me. Is that we don't learn everything all at once. God kind of draws us in. At least that's how he's doing it with me. And he gives me insight and understanding on specific things in my life. And when he does that, he draws me into it. And then it starts to fall away, because my new mindset about it is working on my behalf to now, work against the false ways of living that I've been taught, and the false teachings, and all those things, right? The thoughts, all that. So the mind has to be renewed. But really quick, and then I'm going to get to some calls. We'll try to get to the calls as soon as possible because we got some calls waiting here. Quick example. My entire life, listen, and I'm not making this up. This is like the truth. My entire life, because I've been going to church from a young kid to now, on and off, right? I've been acting out Christianity. My whole life. Been acting out Christianity. And what I mean by that is just going through the motions of it, right? Going through the motions of it, like hearing a certain word and it makes sense and it sounds good and and then reading the Bible, studying the Bible, and then remembering these scriptures. And at times it was very helpful for me. I'm not going to say that it was just totally just an act. At times it was very helpful and necessary. But it definitely was an act. The reason why is because now when you start digging into Christianity and wanting it to be real, right, and you're taught all these things, you now have an expectation of a way to live. And I was acting out this way of life for the sake of wanting to be a good person, right? And I realized though, like in recent years, you know what I mean? I'm in my 30s. So I realized in recent years that a lot of my morals and values are all just teachings in the mind, intellectual teachings, but not in the heart. So I'm trying to live up to this expectation because in my mind, Satan, the enemy is saying, hold on, let me make sure IG is right. In my mind, the enemy is saying, that I lost my train of thought. Well, that's the enemy right there trying to get me distracted with IG. What was I saying? In my mind, I have the enemy telling me that if you don't follow this expectation or you don't live up to this, then you're going to go to hell. I could say hell, right? And if you sin, you continue to sin, you're going to be a bad person. You're not going to get into heaven. God's going to be mad at you, right? So now at this point, I'm spinning my wheels, trying to make sure that doesn't happen, right? Trying to make sure that I'm good. So that was one side of me growing up. And then the second part was me thinking that if I just do the right thing and say the right things and act the right way and all that stuff, even if it's not real, even if it's not genuine, eventually I'll get to peace, right? And I just kept saying and doing all the right things, going through the motions, thinking that eventually it's going to just click and I'm going to just have perfect peace. Now, mind you, in the process of this, I learned a lot. I learned what not to do. I learned how to find like this energy, right? This source of energy to where I could wake up in the morning and have that and not need to have a coffee or stuff like that or need this extra energy. I've understood that. I've understood that and or whatever. And different things of like how to avoid like falling into these weird traps of like sinning and stuff like that. I figured out like all these like things to avoid and they're great things, right? But I kept burning out. And I kept falling off, and, it wasn't sticking. And I realized in recent months, really, that it's because I was following intellectually. I was doing all the right things, going through the motions for the sake of going through the motions, not because I truly understood it. And it wasn't until I understood, I think, JLP had a message at church talk about drop your morals and values, and that just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I'm talking about smack me in the face in the best way possible. And I dropped all of it, right? And not completely, right? Obviously, it's like a process of like, but I understood in that moment of like dropping it. So like I dropped it, and then I just was like letting go more and more and just trusting God. And I realized that, all of my efforts were just out of fear, right? Fear of the consequence. So I let myself go and like gave myself away to my vices, so to speak, right? And let myself be free, do what I want, and just live life. And then I realized that God's still with me, even amongst it. And that's why I realized when you have faith, he'll lead you on all things. But to make a long story long and to end what I'm saying, finish it off, is that atheists oftentimes, and this is just my opinion, atheists oftentimes are in a better position than most of us Christians. Reason why is because they're more grounded in that they learn as they go, right? They're not afraid to live life because they don't have like this false fear of certain things. I mean, they have fear, right? I'm sure. But they don't have like this false thing with like expectation and what you should and shouldn't do. And so they're able to just live life and learn as they go. But that's when you learn as you go, you hit your head sometimes and you only need to hit it once. But if you have this mindset that's preventing yourself from, it's like mama, right? Mama won't let little Zachary climb up on the couch and stand up on the couch. Why? Because little Zachary might fall. So little Zachary, every time he tries to climb up, mama tries to protect him, right? He won't let him go on the couch. So he lives his life. He grows up being protected, but not knowing what it's like to understand why he shouldn't be jumping on the couch. And that's how I was living my life. And that's why I say atheists they get it, they understand it because they're just learning on the way. And when they learn it, they know that they know that they know that they know. And that's why they're grounded on certain things. So when we actually learn and we just let God lead us on this like process of like going through life, and we come across these challenges, but we go through them and we actually learn what happens instead of being taught about the challenge, but actually learn through the challenge, then it makes us more and more grounded on just in life, period. And it gives us that more confidence. So let God draw you in means to just trust that the things that you wish you wouldn't do, the things that you wish you would stop, is for one, it's just a judgment because Jesus wiped all the sins away. But for two, just relax, let God draw you into him, and those things will slowly start to fall away as he's renewing your mind, right? It's not going to happen all at once. Hasn't been happening that way for me. But he'll renew the mind. But we can just relax knowing that he's going to do that. We don't have to be stressed out about like, dang, I need to work on stopping doing this. This is getting out of control. And, we don't have to do that. Like, let go, surrender to the process, have faith that God is just going to lead you to those things falling away by the renewing of your mind. And in the time being, just chill. Just live life and just be free and learn in the process. And that's what it means to doubt all your thoughts and to that. That's what faith is, doubting all the thoughts and not believing into the lies of the mind. You're in the present because when you're in your head, that's you stressing and not having faith. So I hope that made sense. That was a lot of words, but I hope that was clear. King Wesley says, do you feel like you're happy with yourself? Oh, I mean, I felt like that for a while now. I don't feel unhappy with myself at all, but I have felt unhappy with myself most of my life, that's for sure. But I don't feel unhappy with myself now. And do I feel happy with myself? I don't know if I feel happy in a sense that but I'm content. I'm okay. And I don't think you should feel happy. I think we should just be okay, be at peace. Do I have perfect peace? No, I don't have perfect peace. I'm still learning and growing, but I don't have like depression. I'm not depressed. I don't feel like my life is not going anywhere. I feel like God is leading me, and I know that God is leading me. So because I know that is why I don't feel depressed. Right. I know that he's working on me. I know that I'm growing. I know that he's with me. So, but yeah, I still got, conflict pops up. I still believe the thoughts sometimes and stuff like that, but I'm okay. I'm still okay. So I wouldn't call it perfect peace, but I do believe perfect peace exists as God renews the mind. Okay. What the? I'm going to get to some calls right now. We got some people on the line. Right on. Let me just check the quick super chat. I'll get to those in a second. I'll get to super chats in a second. We got callers on the line waiting. Let me get to, there's a line open. There's some lines open, folks. You can call in 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. Let me go to Creed out of Arizona. Creed, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Joel, big dog, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Creed? How are you? All is well.
Doing amazing, bro.
Right on.
Now, I just want to call you real quick because I think one of the last calls, maybe the last time I called you or maybe the time before that, I had asked you about my Bible thumper friends. And I was asking you what you think I should do, if I should, remove them out of my life. Should I cut them off? And I remember you said, well, if they're not snaking you or like gossiping about you or, doing anything shady, try to see what will happen if you keep them around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I tried it. And one of my friends that I grew up with, I went to church with, man, this guy, he real rough on the edges. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to just, everything that I've been learning, I'm going to literally just try and pay attention to my thoughts while I'm talking to this guy. And so it's like really like Bible thumper, judgmental, quoting verses. I'm like, I'm really gonna. And then on Jesse's show, Jesse, on Bible thumping Thursdays, he always says, we give Bible thumpers the time to call in because we want to give them love too. They need love too. And in my mind, you get these thoughts going there where it's like, well, Christ says, just hey, look how he treated the Pharisees. Sometimes he completely ignored them.
Yeah.
And but anyways, my friend on the phone, I had practiced being patient with him, and we had this long phone call, and he started going off on me on the phone again about just my views of life and how I see the Bible. And I'm like, man, this guy. And I just sat there. I just listened to him. And I'm like, I'm going to not say a word. And after a while of letting him talk, he was like, hey, man, he's like, I feel like something's off. He started asking me, what do you think about me? And I just told him, I said, hey, look, you're a Bible thumper. And when I told him that, he's like, he's like, I don't like when people say Bible thumper. That word's derogatory. And he doesn't like when Jesse says that either.
Right.
And I'm like, but it's true, though. So he's like, explain to me what that is. So I explained it to him. I was like, you take scriptures out of context, you judge people, you shove your Bible down people's throats. And he sat there and he was like, you know what? I'll receive that. I think I am that way when I really do think about it. And he's like, I never noticed it until in this conversation. I was like, why? He's like, well, when you were just sitting there listening to me just now and you didn't say a word, as I was talking to you, I realized that the way you describe Bible thumpers, that's exactly what I do. And I was like, really? He's like, honestly, bro, I apologize to you right now for doing that. And when he apologized to me, bro, I don't even know how to explain it. That was like a miracle happened. I'm like, I never would have thought that would happen.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share that with you.
That's an interesting story, man, because what the great thing that happened was you sat there and just was quiet, right? You just were still and didn't impose. And because of that, God was able to do what he was going to do in his own time and have your friend ask you for advice. Like, what do you think about me? And the perfect moment presented itself because it was time for him to hear it. And you were able to give that message. And that's what happened. So that's incredible example of how and I learned this too in my life as well, is that I used to think that I had a duty to tell people about themselves or speak up or whatever. But I never wanted to do it, but I felt like I had to do it. But when I realized I didn't have to, the moments just present themselves. You know what I mean? And then you're able to give it naturally, without fear, without pressure. And it's kind of like God is working on your behalf. So, yeah, that's an amazing story, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate the advice, too, G.
Oh, right on, man. I appreciate that, Creed. I got a bunch of calls here, so I want to move them. But any last comments about that you want to say?
I'll just say the last thing would be dude, love is the best way to love somebody is in time of difficulty, because Christ made it very clear. It's easy to love. It's easy to love people who love you, but it's not easy to love people who are your enemies. So I would just say practice loving people.
Yeah.
Even in how evil they are, practice loving them.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
I agree, man. I appreciate it, Creed. Call me again, man. Always good to hear from you.
Absolutely.
All right. Nice. Yeah. Just let it happen. We don't got a Bible thump. We don't got to thump anything. Thump anybody. Just let it happen naturally and just live life. Sometimes not saying anything is a reflection of God as well. Sometimes if people just see you laugh, you're laughing with them, you're joking with them, right? They appreciate that more than if you told them that they need to go forgive their mama. And you should, right? And you should, right? That's the ultimate thing. But I'm just saying is that, like, you don't always gotta be walk around telling people they gotta forgive their mama. You know what I mean? Let it happen naturally, but just be natural and normal and regular. You know what I mean? It's a lot more enjoyable. Let me go to Sandra out of Virginia. Sandra, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Joel. Nice to chat with you today. It's the first time calling you.
Oh, nice. Right on, Sandra.
So I just wanted to see your opinion. I'm also gonna call Jesse and ask.
Nice.
So I forgave my dad today.
Nice.
He's in West Africa, so I FaceTimed him finally because the connection is not very good out there. So he took it really well, and I think he took it really well, especially because he needs my help to get back into the country.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's just being a lot more peaceful and trying not to get upset. But before, when I was trying to get in touch with him, he started typing in all caps and saying, "I need you to be here. I need to be there so that I can take care of my grandkids and see you get married and all this stuff." And it was kind of intense. Like I feel like he's on the edge. Like he's about to he's ready to be upset because I haven't signed the papers that he needs to get back into the country.
Oh.
I'm worried that he just wants to get in the country. And my mom, I haven't forgiven her yet. She's next. She has told me like he cheated. Well, she didn't actually prove or like see him cheating, but he's a DJ. So he was around a lot of fast women.
Right.
He also invited fast women around our house because I remember seeing strange women around the house as a child. And they got married. So he came into the country, but then he told me she withdrew the petition and he was sent back.
Oh.
And that was years ago, of course, when I was a young child. But my aunt also, his sister told me that he was crazy. So I don't know. I mean, they're telling me that, and I'm just like, okay, but should I give him another chance? It's been like 15 years.
Just because of time, and I got a bunch of, I only got a little bit of time here. So what was the question that you had about your dad?
So I wanted to ask you personally, what would you do? Like, would you try to, what would be the first step that you would take? Like, would you try to get him back into the country?
Oh, I see.
Like,
because he wants you, so he basically wants you to get him back in the country, but he's disguising it as he wants to see you, he wants to be around for the children and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he wears like gold chains and like he still talks to fast women, and he's a DJ, but
yeah,
I don't feel like he's really going to help me that much.
Yeah.
But should I help him?
Well, I mean, if you don't see what to do, you should do nothing at all. You don't want to just do things because he's your father or because he's asking you. No, that doesn't mean that you got to do it. So if you don't see what to do, don't do anything. But if you don't want to, you definitely shouldn't. Like if you see that, or you don't feel comfortable and you don't want to, and you don't, you're kind of leery about it, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't act on it because you want to make sure that it's the right thing, opposed to you just making a decision. So it seems like you're not clear. I wouldn't do it right now. I would just, if he keeps bugging about it, just ignore him or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too, and I just wanted to hear other people's opinion before I do anything. Okay, well then that's pretty much it. Thank you, Joel.
Well, let me ask you really quick. Why haven't you gone to forgive your parent, or you've forgiven your parents?
I went to forgive him today. I hadn't done it because it was just kind of unusual, scary for me. But same with my mom. She was here the other day at my house, and I was really like the idea of it was really scary and kind of embarrassing, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Do you see to do it for yourself? Do you see that that's the right thing to do?
I can see that it's definitely the right thing to do. It's a conversation that could help lift some layers
Yeah.
of some emotion inside of me that has been lingering.
Nice. Well, I would just try to, do your best to just face it and do it anyway, and get past it. Because all the fear of it and all that stuff, I felt the same exact way with not really my mom though, because my dad was really the angry one. So I was like, I don't know what's about to happen. He might try to kill me. And I used to have all these kind of thoughts about it, but then when I did it, it went exactly the opposite. So the fear of it is just trying to keep you from doing it. So I say just go and do it anyway and get it over with,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Joel.
Yeah, no problem. And parents there's no like allegiance that we have to, I know the Bible says honor your parents, but I think what that means is not to like have any resentment towards them. So I think that's how we honor them. And then we'll see how else we do it. But we have no allegiance to them to feel like we owe them a ticket into wherever he's trying to, your dad's trying to come into or wherever he's doing. We don't owe them that, right? So, we don't have to feel guilty for that.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, Sandra,
right.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
All right. Let's see. Let's move the calls here. Who should we go? Where are we going? Where are we going? Let's go to Hector out of New Mexico. Hector, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Joel, my man.
How's it going, Hector?
All right. So I called to ask you the question that I asked Hake, and I saw you take a jab at me in Hake's chat.
Which one?
When I asked Hake if people would know Jesus Christ exists without the Bible.
Oh yeah.
He said, hey, that's an easy one, James. So let me hear it, Joel.
I believe that you absolutely would know Jesus without the Bible. Reason why is because there wasn't always a Bible around. There's somebody who had to write the Bible, right? There's somebody who had to write the scrolls or the scriptures that they had back then. It had to come from somebody seeking within. So absolutely we would know God without it.
Okay. So do you think if the Bible said that God, or do you think if the Bible said that Jesus was a monkey, do you think people would take it at face value and believe that he was a monkey? Well, let me tell you one thing for sure, though, is that there ain't no monkeys in my family tree.
Are you playing? Are you playing, or are you asking me a serious question?
No, I'm playing. Shout out to Hake. He has some peculiar taste in music.
Okay. For one, going back to about the Bible, we are the Bible. The Bible is us. We are the Bible. And when I say by us, the spirit that lives within us, our true nature is of God's nature. And that is what produces the word and wisdom and insight and light. So we are the Bible. And I think that people get so caught up in thinking the Bible is like an outer source that helps us connect to inner. No, like it's a good roadmap, and there's nothing wrong with reading the Bible and picking it up if it makes sense. But we are the Bible within. If you're seeking within, you're going to speak and understand exactly what's coming from the word that's in the Bible or anywhere else.
Okay, so in other words, you're saying that even if the Bible didn't exist, that there would still be some writing somewhere left behind saying that Jesus was a person?
Say it again?
So you're saying, in other words, that if the Bible never existed, that there would be some writings left over somewhere that said that Jesus Christ was a person.
I don't think that the writings were. I'm not saying that the writings are what's important. I'm saying what's important is the spirit within. That the writings don't confirm anything. Even the writings themselves first have to be confirmed by the spirit within. So even if you read the writings, it doesn't make it true until the spirit within make it true. So for me, I always think I might as well just go straight to the spirit within instead of trying to go to the word about it. But there's nothing wrong with reading it, but it's not the source. The source is the spirit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, if the Bible said that people were monkey or Jesus was a monkey and we should all be monkeys, then people would be acting out like a monkey. That's because they would be making the noise. They would be on their hands and feet because people don't realize, people are taught to copy and study, like myself, as I did growing up, study the Bible and remember it and act it out. And that's not how we should do.
All right. I like that.
Right on, Hector.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Joe. I was contemplating on calling because, you say that you don't only talk about relationships, but then Jesse says on the show, don't forget to call Joel or listen to Joel's show, and he'll help you with your little relationships.
Yeah, mending relationships. I know. What the?
That's all I got. Thanks, my man.
I'm glad you're calling, Hector. I appreciate it. Call me again.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Oh, let me go to Lucas at Alhambra, California. Lucas, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Joel, how you doing?
How's it going, Lucas?
It's going well. I got two questions. First question is, did Jesus Christ have any tattoos?
Probably not. I don't even know if they were making. I think they were probably making tattoos back then, but no, he didn't have tattoos.
all right. So I want to ask the same question I asked Hake and his guest that one day. Do you believe homosexuality is like evil?
Do I think homosexuality is evil? No. I think it's the same as heterosexuality. They're both the same thing. Because both of them are a cursed act. Sexuality is not, it's a normal, unnormal thing. So are you saying like, well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but yeah.
Like another part of that question. So is it, do you believe that like it's homosexuality, like people, same sex doing stuff and all that, that they are, like it's an act, like it's not real. They don't really, it's not like a real thing.
It's just a vice, just like every other vice. And they identify with it. And that's where the trick comes in, the deception comes in, is because they think that that's who they are. And that's not who you are. Just like a straight person who has sex with the same or the opposite sex. That's another person with a vice that they need to overcome. So what it is, it's a false identity, and everybody just has vices that they need to overcome.
All right. Going on to because of what Hake's guest was talking about, that's why I'm talking about this, because he brought up a good point. So do you think it's the PDF that is like the problem, or do you think it's the homosexuality in the first place that started that stuff going on?
Wait, what do you mean, the PDF and then the what? I don't get it. What do you mean?
Oh, is the real problem of PDF and all that stuff? It's all big and stuff going on, and they're catching people, Epstein's Island, all that stuff. Do you think it stems from homosexuality?
The PDF stems, or the people trying to the people getting caught?
The people trying to do stuff with kids and stuff. Do you think it stems from homosexuality?
I see. These are great questions, man. These are really good questions. No, I think that it stems from a deeper problem within, whether that be anger, which ultimately it all. You still there, Lucas?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah, ultimately it all comes from, anger and hatred. But it's a conflict within that makes people, that awakens people's desires and these weird beliefs that pop up from that. The enemy's just busy on the mind. But it all comes from that, a thought first, and then the feeling that comes afterward, making us believe that you like a young kid or you like the same sex or whatever the case is. It's all a lie. Nobody's into none of that stuff. It's all just the lies that we believe into and that are causing us to do these things. But it doesn't come from one group and the other. It comes from the false lies and beliefs in our minds that we believe into because of the conflict and anger that we have, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I strongly believe that, I think there's a very, leisure kind of mentality going on with, homosexuality. At least he votes for Donald Trump. But I think, there's that going on right now in society.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes me think about, how, Jesse says, if you have anger, you're two steps and a holler away from, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right.
Does that mean you're also 2 steps and a holler away from being a PDF?
Exactly. No, it's all the same thing. Jeffrey Dahmer, PDF, homosexual, it's all the same thing. It's because all it is you believing into something. You know what I mean? That's really all it is. But my thing is that if somebody wants to go off and here's the thing, if somebody wants to go off and be homosexual or identify with that, then they can go do that. It's not my business. But when they impose it on me or they affect my life with it, then that's where I step in and say, no, I stand my ground. And in me doing that, when those opportunity comes up, is what changes the dynamic, not me going out and imposing it on everybody else and doing all that kind of stuff. What that does is just digs people deeper into their vices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll come to us, and when we need to stand up and speak on it because what we see to be true, it'll open itself up, and then we can do it then, and it'll have way more power than us going out street preaching and Bible thumping.
Yeah, no, I'm done. I don't know if you remember me, but I used to do that stuff and go out there and, protest rallies and all that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I realized. I guess I got older,
Yeah, but, no, I get it, but it is dangerous. It's dangerous too. We want to make sure we're led in everything. But I appreciate that, Lucas. Any last comments here?
Oh no. Just unless you want to talk more how were the girls at the gym last time you went? No, I'm joking.
What?
Every time you talk about the gym, man. We're talking about the girls.
They're beautiful. I'll tell you that. Oh, they beautiful. I appreciate it, Lucas. Call me again, man.
All right, you have a good day.
All right, you too. Lord have mercy. Let me keep moving the calls. Calls getting moved. Let me go to dang. I'm conflicted. Conflict. Where do I go? King Wesley's going crazy. Let me go to Frederick. Frederick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joel? I'm going to make it quick so you can get the King Wesley over there from the Instagram.
Right.
Hey, how do you not like it when homosexuals approach you, but you don't have no morals or values? If you didn't have no morals or values, you would go along with it.
Good question. What I meant by dropping my morals and values is that I meant that all the things that I intellectually knew about morals and values, I dropped that. Now there's things that I've learned throughout life or that I actually learned through actual experience or insight those things,
Like
of
things
course,
you
are
know
there.
that there's consequences for.
Right. Like, I can't think of an example, but not even just things that are consequences for, but things that I see in the moment that wouldn't be, I don't know, the right thing. But
That's morals and values. You guide your life with those morals and values that you acquired, right? You
right.
don't just you just don't go in the store and pick up what you want and walk out. You pay for it. You respect the person at the register in the white man's business, and you say, "Here's my money for this item," and that's.
But I don't have
values, right?
but I don't have a preconceived. That's the thing. That's a perfect example. I don't have a preconceived idea of what morals and value is, because the moment may teach something else. So say if like I go into the store and then what you said about the thing. Yeah, of course you don't steal, but you just don't.
Why not? Why not?
Well, you have to wait on the moment. But I'm just saying, in general, the point is that sometimes some things may seem like you shouldn't do, but then the moment calls for something different. Like, for example, let me give you the best example, because the store one is too practical, and everybody knows that, you know, it's against the law to steal. But let's just say, like,
that's
for
the
example,
values. We talk about morals and values.
right? That's too practical. That's not real morals and values,
are.
though. Like, that's just practical. You don't break the law. But the thing is, like, for example, it was law not to heal on the Sabbath way back in the day, right? You shouldn't heal on the Sabbath. If anybody heals on the Sabbath, it's blasphemous. You're going to hell, right? Well, when Jesus came, he healed on the Sabbath, right? He broke that quote unquote law because in the moment, that's what he saw to do. So he was led in that moment to do what you need to do, opposed to this preconceived idea.
Was Jesus a regular man, or was Jesus somebody different?
He was a regular man. That's why he came back here. Yeah, he was. That's
the
why he
wise
came back here.
man came to see this baby when he was in the manger. He was not a regular man. They did not act like Jesus. And the letter J wasn't around, so Jesus wouldn't have been known without the Bible. If you think the letter J was around back then.
Jesus wouldn't have been known without the Bible? What you mean?
Nope, not until like around the 1500s when the letter J was invented. Them people back then wasn't even calling him Jesus.
I don't know what you're talking about, the letter J.
The letters,
but
yeah, the letter J. That letter J wasn't invented until like the 1500s by a man named John. What's his name? Giuliani or something.
Well,
something retarded. So the letter J itself, there was no Jesus in them times.
Well, I don't know what that means, but let me ask this: is it possible that sometimes we have these morals in our mind of what we should and shouldn't do, and then when we use them in the moment, sometimes they're out of order?
No.
Oh, well, then
I think everything's God's plan. So anytime that we act or, you know what I'm saying, respond to a situation, it's all about where we at in life. And it could be a learning lesson or it could not. But with your morals making you sit by and letting something evil happen right in front of your face, there'd be more evil in the world. So we do have morals and values.
Okay, but the morals and values
stand for, so we can be indignant, to be upset and angry about stuff in the world, because if it was that God was so angry with the people on earth that he washed them all away, of course people will want other people not to be sinful and just walk around and sin if they think that God's watching, and he's got so angry before he just washed out, seen no good people, that he washed them all away. Why would we want that to happen again? So we got to be angry at the people that's creating more degeneracy before God comes and erases all over and start over again.
He's not doing that. He's not doing that because...
How you know? So you got to tell us he's not going to do it, but he did it once before.
Well, he did it to those that were... to the
no morals and no values.
No, because the people's hearts were closed off. Their hearts were darkened because they rejected him. Not because they were quote unquote doing sins. Not because they were quote unquote doing sins or they were immoral. No, they rejected them in their hearts. Salvation is of the heart, and morals or values is of the heart, not in the mind. So if I walk around saying don't steal, don't steal, don't steal, and I have that in my mind, that's not real. That's actually not the real deal. It has to be of your heart why you don't steal and understanding it. not this thing.
No, they're
So
gonna
I'm
find out the
saying
consequences.
dropping
Just
the
like you
morals and
found out the
values in the
consequences.
head, not in the
Somebody's
heart.
gonna lump them. Somebody's gonna lump them over the head when they find out. You don't have to tell them don't steal. The consequences, just like you learn your morals and values,
Exactly.
will teach them for themselves.
Right.
You don't have to say nothing.
Right. And
But you will have morals and values still because you don't want them consequences. Them consequences hurt. And once
Fair
you act
enough.
like there's no consequences for your actions, you're lost. So I just don't want you to be lost out there and be without no morals and values and get yourself in a sticky situation. True,
Oh.
morals and values can hurt when you try to white knight for somebody and break up a domestic violence argument, and then next thing you know, he shoots you. Yeah, that's maybe, but it's God's plan. You always
Fair.
have morals and values. At least you die an honorable man or whatever. This is what they wanted. This is what God had planned for you. But I'm just
Well, fair
saying,
enough.
don't just be like, that's none of my business. I'm gonna wait till my next moment to show me something.
Well, I can't plan for that to happen or not. You just got to wait and see. But fair enough. I get what you're saying. I'm out of time, but I understand. I appreciate it, Frederick.
Okay. Yeah. As we think of so a man is, you say you have no morals and values, you start doing things with no morals and values, and that's dangerous.
Well,
All right.
all
Have a
right.
good day.
I appreciate it, Frederick. I don't see it that way, but I understand what he's saying. And we might be saying the same thing. I just don't have time to like really get into it to get to the root. But morals and values is of the heart. And when I say drop my morals and values, I'm saying that I dropped any teachings and ideas about morals and values, and I'm just being led by the moment, right? And the light, when you have faith, the light guides you. And I have faith in the light, which is God. I have faith in the light. I don't have faith in my morals and values. I don't have faith in not to steal. I don't have faith in not to do A, B, and C. I have faith in the light to lead me. And that's because I dropped my morals and values. Because morals and values keep you stressed out. You know what I mean? Keep you in chains because you're trying so hard to live by them. Live by the light, and the light is morals and values, and you become morals and values. So, Anyway, I gotta end, y'all. Way out of time. American Anchor Babies come in. Sorry the rest of the calls I couldn't get to you. Call me again tomorrow. Jaime and the others. Jaime, I know you want to get back in what we were talking about yesterday, but you got to call me tomorrow, and we'll pick back up on it. I'll go to you first. Amazing stuff. Gotta go, y'all. Bye.